then guys, so let's take a look. This is pretty much the same thing that we did on Friday. We're gonna divide decimals, but we're gonna round it to the nearest hundred, just like we did on Friday. Remember, hundred, or the th is a decimal, and we don't remember how many decimal places. Just think of the number 100, 2 zeros, so it means 2 decimal places. So 100 is 2 decimal places. So let me take the directions out. Right. And then just like I mentioned on Friday, the number after the decimal, after the division sign, the number right after should not have any decimal points. I don't care about the first one, I'm talking about the second one. No decimal points on the second one. So in order for me to get rid of the decimal, I'm going to move it one place to the right and then do the same on the first one. So I have 37 divided by 111. Once again, the second number should not have any decimal points. So I'm going to write this as 111 into 37. Right, the second number is the number that goes outside. So remember, in here, after the 37, there's a decimal point. So I'm going to put my decimal point there because my answer more than likely has decimals, right? We're dealing with decimals. 111 into 37 goes in 0 times, right? Because 111 is bigger. To continue, add a 0. So then I'm going to go 111 into 370. I'm going to think 3 times. Multiply the 3 to the 1, to the other one, and to the other one. So I get 333. Then I'm going to subtract those numbers, right? How to subtract? We know how to subtract. 370 minus 333, that is 37. So then to continue, add another 0. So then I'm going to think 111 into 370, which looks like pretty much the question at the beginning. So I'm going to assume it's going to be another 3, and then another 3, and then my 3's continue. But I'm going to stop at the third decimal number. And the reason why I stop at the third decimal number is I take a look at it. Right? If the number is big, when I say big is 5 or more, if the number is big, add 1 to your answer. But since the number is small, my answer will be 0.33. Right? If my third number was big, I would have called it 0.34. If my number was big. All right, question number 2. Remember, the second number should not have any decimal. So I'm going to move my decimal one place to the right. So it looks like 7.5 divided by 57. Once again, I don't care if the first number has a decimal. Like, we don't care about the first number. We look at the second number. No decimals on the second number. So I'm going to write this as 57 goes into 7.5. So matter of fact, my point, I'm going to bring it up already. Then I go 57 into 7 goes 0 times, because 57 is bigger. So 57 into 75 goes in 1 time. When I multiply 57 times 1 is 57. Then just subtract those numbers, right? 75 minus 57. We know how to subtract. I'm just going to call it 18. You guys know how to subtract. So call it 18. To continue, add a 0. So then I think 57 into 180. I'm going to say 3 times. Right? This is kind of like a guess. In a way, an educated guess. Just not any number. Just you think. And then 3 times 7, multiply this. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus the 2, 17. Subtract these numbers. 180 minus 171. I get 9. So we're good. To continue, add another 0. 57 into 90 goes in 1 time. Right, 57 times 1 is 57. Subtract this, I get 33. Right, I can continue, right? Each time to continue, just add another 0. But I'm going to stop because I already have 3 decimal numbers. Right, that's where I'm going to stop there. I look at my third number. It's a small number. Right, 1 is small. So my answer would be 0.13. Once again, if my third number was big, I would have called it 0.14 if it was big. but it's small, so I'll leave it at 0.13. Take a look at a couple more examples. Looking at number 3, move the decimal one place to the right on each. So I have 140.1 divided by 125. Once again, the second number should not have any decimals. I want to write the 125 on the outside or 140.1 on the inside. My decimal, let me bring it up already. Now let me ask you guys, how many times does 125 go into 140? One time. If I multiply this, I'm going to get 125 times 1 is 125, right? When I subtract this, how much is 140 minus 125? 15, good. So you continue, drop the next number, which is a 1. Now, how many times is 125 going to 151? Once. Right, 125 times 1 is 125. Now subtract that. How much is 151 minus 125? What was it? I think I heard it. Close to 26, good. To continue, add another 0. So we want to put a 0. Now, how many times is 125 going to 260? 2. Right, when you multiply 125 times 2, we get 250, right? Subtract that. How much is 260 minus 250? 10. So continue, add another 0. How many times is 125 going to 100? 0, because 125 is bigger. I already have 3 decimal numbers, so I'm going to stop. So I see my third number, it's a small number, right? 0 small. So my answer would be 1.12. Even though my answer only has 2 numbers, I get a third one. Just to see if I round up or I leave it alone. So you do need the third one for the round. For number 4, let me write this as 119 divided by 73. Notice that I moved the decimal one place to the right. That way, the second number does not have a decimal. So I'm going to write 73 into 119. I'm going to bring my decimal up already. How many times does 73 go into 119? More than 0. One time. 73 times 1 is 73. When I subtract this, how much is 119 minus 73? $46, yes. So you continue, add a 0. How many times is 73 going to 460? To make it easier, if you guys want, okay, yeah, 6. To make it easier, look at the first number, 7, and look at the first 2. So you're thinking, how many times is 7 going to 46? Right, that's just a way to help to kind of think about it. So you said 6. Multiply the 6 to both, though. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 1 is 43. Subtract those. How much is 460 minus 438? 22, thank you. So you continue, add a 0. How many times does 73 go into 220? 3. I know 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 7 is 21. When I subtract it, what do I get? 220 minus 219. 1. So you continue at a 0. How many times does 73 go into 10? 0. Now I'm going to stop because I already have 3 decimal places. My third one is too small, so I'm going to call this 1.63. Once again, if my third number was big, I would have called it 1.64. That's why I get the third number to see if I have to round up or not. Pretty similar to what we did on Friday. Any questions?